During a night patrol earlier this month, one team roamed the city in a silver SUV with spoof license plates reading, "Putin is a dickhead, la 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 la."
A spoof is a type of trickery where people convince other people that something that is completely false is true. Or alternately, what they'll do is they'll act out in such a way which is obviously false, but while pretending to be true, as a form of humor. So there's different movies that are done as a spoof. So you can look at it as basically just one long joke. Good example is Monty Python, where they pretended to be Roman soldiers and different people from the Bible, but they did it in a mocking way. So the spoof was part of the comedy routine. Similarly, The Onion newspaper is a spoof magazine. They create these stories, and oftentimes they're very much what we say over the top, which means they're exaggerated to the point where you might originally think it's a real story, but then you think it's just so highly exaggerated it couldn't possibly be true. So a spoof is a hoax or a mocking imitation of something, usually light and good-humored, and done in the sense of lampoon or parody, so people normally know that it's not true. So in this sense, a spoof license plate would be a license plate that people obviously know is not true. In a lot of states, you have to have a back license plate, but maybe you don't need a front license plate. So if you had a front license plate that was looked sort of like a real license plate, but it was done as a joke, the police probably wouldn't take it too seriously, because they wouldn't think that you were trying to convince them it was a real license plate. So a spoof license plate basically means a fake license plate. A ways back, I looked on the web about people trying to spoof the Nigerian fraudsters who were looking to convince people to send them money. So they got the fraudsters to pose in these pretty ridiculous pictures, and then they posted those on the internet. So that was pretty funny. You also have to be careful for spoof emails, which try to spoof people into believing that they are from actual companies. In my case, I probably get a spoof email every couple of days, usually from some bank that I do not have an account with. And even if I do get one from a company that I have an account with, I still don't believe it. I don't respond to any emails from companies unless I know exactly who they are and I trust the email. Otherwise, you can get a virus and they can take over your computer. So in this sense, a spoof is not something good-natured. The spoof is actually something designed to help a criminal commit a crime against you. So not much fun in that at all. I saw this YouTube video where they had these guys trying to spoof people by asking them sort of crazy questions. And then what would happen is the guys would go and start beating up these spoofers, and then they go, "It's a spoof! It's a spoof!" But they'd still get beaten up anyway. So it was, kind of funny. And it's possible they were spoofing me too. Maybe these were their friends trying to beat them up and not real people. But it certainly looked real.
At the same time, Maidan groups speak openly of their disappointment with the dithering new government in Kiev.
To dither means to be indecisive. It seems to come from a combination of multiple words. One of them is dather. Another seems to be wither. Another one might be waver. Whatever the case is it's a coined word which largely refers to being indecisive and wasting time. So I can say I was just dithering away the afternoon waiting for my phone to ring. Or you can refer to a particular politician. For example, you can talk about the dithering new government in Kiev, suggesting that they're in negative circumstances, but they're somewhat indecisive about what they should be doing. So they waver, hesitate, or vacillate about things. I saw the Republican debates the other day, and one thing that I don't think I like so much is politicians who dither about their opinions. They talk about one thing, and then they talk about something else. And certainly it's important for them to be able to appeal to different groups. But if they're too weak on what they actually believe in and just dither, then it doesn't make me very confident. And I think that's the way with a lot of other people too. I saw this video on YouTube the other day, and this woman was attacked on the street by somebody. And I expected people in the crowd walking by to just dither and not do anything to help the woman. But one guy, he didn't dither, and he just jumped right on top of the attacker and held him until the police arrived.
Jokowi says he will put an end to this. He promises the better life that has proved elusive for many Indonesians, at the same time as he pledges to stand up for his country. His clarion call for growth is doing much to change what some call Indonesia's acceptance of mediocrity.
A clarion call is when someone makes a proclamation to exhort or encourage people to do something a certain way. So it's a strongly expressed demand or request for action. Where it comes from is in the military throughout the ages, really. They've had trumpeters who sound out certain sounds that are supposed to be commands to the soldiers. So the soldiers are supposed to listen to the clarion call and then do what the trumpeter has ordered them to do. Obama gave a great speech on TV last night. It was a clarion call for social justice. He wanted people all around the country to make a stand to fight for social justice. Very powerful speech. Our company, unfortunately, we lost a lot of money last quarter because, we actually had too many parties. We had our beer Fridays, and they would go on until Sunday. So I think that the president realized that, and our poor performance was a clarion call to focus more on work and less on partying. Also keep in mind that clarion call, the expression, it's what you might call a high style or a poetic metaphor. Normally you wouldn't say clarion call, you would just say it was a sign or it was an indication. But if you say it was a clarion call, you're dramatizing it and you're making the cause or the symptom to be more important than people might otherwise consider. So you can sound a clarion call, which is pretty dramatic, or you can make a clarion call as well.
That's all for today. Tom Taylor is an ESL tutor. He teaches English in the United States and outside, all over the world, using Skype. He can be reached at his website, which is
ESL-fullsteamahead.com.
Click on this link and check out his website and email with questions. Thank you, Tom, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.